Hey guys, Steve here from My Crypto World. Today we're going to have a quick look at the portfolio that I currently hold and where I think it might be going. So before we kick today's video off, just remember this is not financial advice. You do not have to go out and copy exactly what I've done, and I would strongly suggest you don't do that. I'd also strongly suggest that you do your own research and see what your thoughts are on each cryptocurrency that I mention. It's really important to note that yes, I do a lot of research before I invest any type of money into any project, but sometimes I might mention a coin and you might do your own research and you might disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. So always do your own research, find out what works and fits best with you before putting your money into the market. So we've had I did a portfolio review, I think maybe six or 8 weeks ago. So this is just going to be an update. It hasn't really changed too much, but I know we've got a number of new people in the group that wanted to know where things are at, and they've been private messaging me, which is perfectly fine. Keep the messages coming, and if I can help you out further, if you've got questions on this video, you can either add them to the group just on Messenger or direct message me, privately. Okay, so kicking off the list, I'm going to break it down into two sections, the top section and the bottom section. The top is what I hold is my top 10 holdings, and the bottom 10 are my bottom stocks that I hold. So I hold 20 coins in all. You don't have to hold that much. If you're new to this, I certainly wouldn't recommend any more than probably 5 or 6 to commence with. You need to get your head around them, and you certainly don't want to be panicking or worrying about things at night time if things go downhill, which is very possible in the crypto space. In fact, it's possible with any type of investment that you do, whether it be property or gold or stocks. The markets can turn. They do tend to move faster in any direction they want when it's with crypto, because it's such a new space. But in saying that, the market cap is growing significantly each day. 2 years ago, the total market cap of the crypto world was around about 500 million. Today we're sitting at around about 1.7 trillion. So it has grown dramatically, and will continue to do so now that a lot of these projects that I'm speaking about today, coins that I have, they've really got some good development underway. 2 years ago, there were still some of them pie in the sky ideas of what they could do for the blockchain network. And they've really, 2 years later, they're really showing that they've got good projects underway. They're being managed really well by the CEO and CFO. And they've got a lot of potential, much more potential than what they did have 2 years ago, which is why I've held on to most of these. Most coins that I buy, I don't sell. It's rare for me to sell something. Sometimes I might rebalance the portfolio. For example, it just happens naturally that maybe my bottom coin, which at the moment is Verge, could end up being one of my top 5 coins because it just moves so much in price. If I see things like that happening, I might rebalance it or rejig it a little bit. I don't really buy too many new coins that often. I'm quite a passive investor. I just want my money to work for me while I'm earning an income and setting myself up for retirement. That's really my goal here. So again, this isn't for traders. If you're a trader, somebody who buys in and out of the market all the time, certainly this information will be helpful for you. But then you obviously aren't a long-term investor like I am. So your strategy is going to be a little bit different depending on what your goals are. Okay, let's kick the list off. The first one is Theta, the Theta network. That is probably it is my number one holding at 27%. The price is currently around about $12. I think it's got huge potential. When I bought into it, it was 48 cents and has moved strongly up and down a little bit, but at the moment at $12. Mainnet 3.0, you would have seen, actually you can see, I was just looking at it before. I don't know if you can see that behind me, the screen. So we've got 24 days and 18 hours until Mainnet 3.0 launches. That will significantly enhance the Theta network and the validator nodes and the edge nodes that are running. So that's a big one for us. If you haven't got any stock at the moment and you're looking to buy into something, Theta is going to dramatically change the way entertainment works on the internet. Where do I think it could go? Probably to $80 before the end of the year. even if I'm half right and I get that half right and we only get the $40, it's still a significant improvement from $12 to $40. So a lot of good things coming with Theta. Now I'm going to jump to my number 3 stock now because it's related to Theta, and that's T-Fuel. T-Fuel is a gas that you get paid, or the coin you get paid if you use the Theta network, or you upload videos to Theta TV, or you do any transactions. So you get paid in T-Fuel, or you spend T-Fuel, depending on which way it goes. Currently that's at 60 cents. You know, I got T-Fuel when it was just over a cent. So that's been my biggest mover, 3,700% on that one. I think probably it'll get to around about $3 or $4 before the end of this year. Again, it's going to be dramatically affected by the mainnet 3.0 launch as well. And you can now, or you haven't, not just now, but you can also stake your T-Fuel and your Theta if you want to do that. I won't go into staking too much here, but essentially what you're doing is you're allowing the mainnet to use your computer power to help others in the network download and use your bandwidth, your unused bandwidth. And you get rewarded for that in T-Fuel, and that can be quite lucrative for those that have staked. Anyway, let's go through it again. So Theta, 27%. Then we jump down to number 3, T-Fuel, which is 13.4%. At number 2, I have Cardano, ADA, at 22.5%. And now ADA, I think that'll probably go, at the moment it's around about $2. I think by the end of this year it could be a $10 crypto. T-Fuel at the moment is 52 cents, or 60 cents, sorry. I think by the end of this year it'll be anywhere between probably $2 and $4. Ripple's my next holding. Obviously they're going through some issues at the moment that keeping this stock down. I think for those that don't know, Ripple are going through a lawsuit at the moment with the SEC. Ripple keep winning every case that's put against them, so that's a positive thing. I think that will move to a $4 stock before the end of the year, and once this Ripple lawsuit is over. Currently it's at around about $1.38, and it is 6.7% of my total holdings. Next we have Zilliqa. Zilliqa is at 5.1%. Of my total holdings. Currently at 16 cents. I think that could be $1 easily before the end of the year. Holochain is my next one. We're looking at 4.7% of my total portfolio. Currently it's about a cent, and I think that could move to 10 cents before the end of the year. Chainlink's next, 3.5%. You know, Chainlink, it's $35. Is it $35? I think it's $35 at the moment, 36 maybe. I really believe that this is one of the biggest undervalued crypto coins out in the marketplace at the moment. Based on all the work that Chainlink do and the partnerships that they've got, that should easily be at least a $100 coin, maybe even 150, which is where I'm predicting that will end up by the end of the year. It's always going to be good at the end of this year to go back and have a look at this video and see how accurate I am. If it's not the end of this year, it'll certainly be early 2022. Polkadot is next, 3.4% of my portfolio. Digibyte, DGB, another big undervalued player in the marketplace. They're currently 8 cents. I got in when they were 3 cents. So, you know, it's made about a 200% return. 3.1% of my portfolio. Digibyte could easily be 50 cents before the end of this year. They don't have a lot of press. It's not a sexy coin at all. Really what they do is security protocols on the blockchain network. But the thing is they work with every single, or they want to work with every single coin out there. So they want to be there for Digibyte. They want to be, for Bitcoin. They want to be there for Ethereum. They want to be there for Ripple. It's really about the security of the contracts. So they're going to go a long way, I think. That's probably another one that's super undervalued. And if you haven't got anything in the market before, you've got some spare cash lying around, Digibyte would be one to look at. My final top 10 holding is Bitcoin Cash. I made a prediction at the start of this year that I felt that Bitcoin Cash would be anywhere between $6,000 and $8,000 by the end of the year. It's currently around about $900, maybe $850, $900. So a 10 times increase before the end of this year. Bitcoin Cash is now being used more for payments than Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is a good thing, and we'll continue to see that grow. So again, that's at 2.4%. So Theta, Cardano, T-Fuel, Ripple, Zilliqa, Holochain, Chainlink, Polkadot, Digibyte, and Bitcoin Cash make up my top 10. Now my bottom 10, we'll just run it through really quickly, is Bitcoin, 2.9%, Reserve Rights at 1.4%, Stellar at 1.3%, Dentcoin at 1%, Polygon or Matic, as the handle is, at 0.6%, VeChain Thor at 0.44%, Cartesi at 0.3%, Shiba Inu, Ontology, and Verge all at 0.1%. So it doesn't mean that those ones that I've got 0.1% aren't any good or aren't going to make it at all. It just means that I have more faith in the other ones to put more money into them. Now, in saying that, I mentioned Holochain, which is my number 6 holdings, was at one stage my number 20. So Holochain I bought that for, I'm going to say 1,000th of a cent. And over the last year, that's now become my top 6 holding. Not because I've bought any more, just because it's gone up so much in value. Holo has moved up, what are we up here? 1,488%. So it's now moved to number 6. So certainly those bottom ones there, Shiba Inu, Ontology, Verge, they could end up anywhere in the marketplace over the next 12 to 18 months. And so my portfolio will be adjusted just based on that alone. So again, just take that information as you might and do your own research on each particular stock. For those that have also asked me, how do I pick my coins to get into? I do a lot of reading, probably too much. And it's really hard to work out on the internet is a great resource for anybody to do their research. But it can also be very daunting because you'll have articles written about stocks that will talk a particular way, and you'll have other ones about the same coin or stocks that are going to have a negative bias about that coin. And you've really got to weigh up what your gut feel is about a particular coin or a project. I've mentioned it in other videos. I really am backing projects that I feel are going to be disruptors. So these are companies that are going to change in some way, shape or form significantly the way the network and the internet is working, or come up with a new technology that's going to make things simpler, faster, cheaper, more viable for people. All the ones I've listed there in my top 20 or my total portfolio, I feel fit that criteria. I also, and there's one in there like Shiba Inu. I think that's that's like pie in the sky for me at the moment. But for a couple of $100, I'll throw some money in there and see if it does anything. The others though, most of the others are all, I feel like they've got a good sense about them. They've got a good project that they're working towards. The CEOs look like they know what they're doing. So a lot of that is based around the research that I do. And then also you've got gut feel or intuition. How does a project sit with you? Can you see this project being a disruptor, but not only for the short term, but also for the long term? There are risks with all of these. The truth is Theta, as much as it's my number 1 holding, there could be a new company that's born tomorrow or created tomorrow that does things 10 times faster and 10 times better than Theta. So you've got to weigh all that sort of stuff up. It's very possible. We all know that the market grows quickly, and with technology these days, what was new today is old by tomorrow. So, but in saying that, you can, if you've got Twitter, even if you don't want to comment on Twitter, you could follow a lot of people on a lot of these coins on Twitter, and you'll see what their daily posts are. They give you updates all the time about where things are at with their projects. Even sometimes they'll be honest and say, these are some of the headaches where we're going through at the moment. This is how we're going to fix it. So it can be a really good research tool for anyone on this platform to look at. Just go to Twitter, download a thing if you haven't got it. You don't have to comment on things. Don't think if you've got a Twitter account, you've got to comment all the time. It's very busy, but you can choose what feeds you get, similar to Facebook. But it gives you a great insight into the coins, especially when you can talk to and talk like the CEO of Theta, for example, is posting all the time what they're doing and what they're up to, where the project is up to. So that sort of information that's freely available helps a lot as well. Well, I think that's it. What I might do now is jump on the computer and we'll just have a quick look at where the market is before we finish the video off. Let's see where we go. Okay guys, so we're just having a look at the total market cap of where it is at the moment. Now this is the exact same chart that we used last week, and I also posted up a copy of this chart to the chat group. So as you can see, and as you would remember from my last video, I mentioned that we really got a high here at around about 1.79 trillion that we want to see broken before this cycle finishes. And I mentioned that in my last video, because we've gone up and then back down so quickly, that I felt that this cycle might be what's known as a dead cat bounce. It's not a bearish sign, but it is a sideways movement. It's where the market just tests that the bottom is over before it starts commencing its trend upwards. Now, since that video, the market actually did retrace and it did come up a bit, but it didn't break that high at all. It actually just got really close to it before it started pulling away. And where we are now is that small green bar there for today's current market price. Now we are in day, let's have a look here. I think we must be day 14 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13. We're in day 14 right now of a 30-day cycle. So we're almost a 31-day cycle, sorry. So we're almost halfway through. Ideally, we would want to see this high broken prior to or after the 16-day period. So we're really almost halfway through it. The longer it stretches out in a cycle and breaks its high in the last third of a cycle, the stronger that move is. The other thing it could do is it may retrace all the way down here for the next, 16 days, so about 2 weeks. So we just got to wait and see where things are going. If it does retrace, it does not mean that the market is bearish. It just means that the market is what you would call stale at the moment. There's an even divide between the people who want the market to go up and the people who want the market to go down, or think that one or the other is going to happen. It's nothing significant that you usually have to worry about. Just relax. The world, as I always say, will turn again tomorrow, but it's just something we want to be mindful of. For those of you that haven't invested yet and are considering buying into some cryptos, you could do one of two things. You could jump in right now. I'm not saying that I'm more bearish or bullish either way. I don't know which way the market's going to go, to be honest. So you may want to wait until this high is broken. That signifies that the cycle is moving upwards. Or you may want to wait and see over the next 2 weeks whether this market continues to drop a little bit before it finds its all-time low, not all-time low, sorry, its recent low, before making a move up again. The choice is yours. It's always a difficult one to make. Just know that if you get into the market now and it drops, you won't lose all your money, but certainly your account will be in negative territory for the first few months before it commences again. My gut feel is that we will see this high broken, whether it's this cycle, which ends in 2 weeks, or just afterwards. Again, doesn't faze me if that's the case, but at some point very soon in the next 30 days, we're going to see the market change direction and move upward in a strong motion. So that's my market recap. Have a great weekend, everyone. And any messages, as I said, just DM me and I'll help you out if I can. Cheers.